The top story of the day, the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee erupted in fury at Kolkata's Victoria Memorial as she shared the stage with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at an event to honour the legendary freedom fighter Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose on his 124th birth anniversary after she was faced with chants of Jai Shri Ram and refused to address the crowds. This at the end of a long day where the BJP and the ruling Trinamool Congress tussled over the celebrations on the birth anniversary and tussled over the legacy of the Bengali icon in a state that's just 4 months away from assembly elections.
अब हम स्वागत करना चाहेंगे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ममता बनर्जी का मंच पर।
गवर्नमेंट का प्रोग्राम का कोई डिग्निटी होना चाहिए। एक गवर्नमेंट का प्रोग्राम है, कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का प्रोग्राम नहीं है। और पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का और
An angry Mamata Banerjee cutting off her speech after BJP supporters heckled her with Jai Shri Ram slogans in the presence of the Prime Minister with whom she was sharing the stage.
प्रोग्राम बनाया, लेकिन किसी को आमंत्रण करके निमंत्रित करके उसको बेइज्जत करना ये आपको शोभा नहीं देता है।
ये हमारे लिए, मैंने क्यों यहाँ जितने भी उपस्थित कार्यकर्ता थे या फिर जितने भी सिटीजन्स थे, ये सारे जय श्री राम का स्लोगन उठाए हैं और मुझे और हम सभी को गर्व है।
जय श्री राम में कोई पॉलिटिकल स्लोगन नहीं है। किसी को वेलकम करने के लिए जय श्री राम नारा क्वाइट कॉमन है। वो गुस्सा क्यों हो गई? Probably she has lost her mind because she knows in the ensuing election she is going to lose, and for that she has lost her cool.
We can definitely convey our remembrance to Sri Ramchandra as well as to our God Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. I do not find any dispute if someone says Jai Shri Ram, because Jai Shri Ram is not a war cry.
On this historic day, we should have kept our cool and we should have just remembered Netaji, and what happened on stage should not have happened.
We are not subscribing this anything to this kind of ideas. अगर मुख्यमंत्री बोलने चढ़ जाए उसी का समय कोई ऐसा नारा लगा दे, हम लोग इसको समर्थन भी नहीं करता। ये हो गया, ऐसा होते रहता है। बड़ा घटना में छोटी मोटी कुछ चीज होते रहता है।
The Prime Minister and the Chief Minister were at the Victoria Memorial to mark the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The Prime Minister referred to Mamata Banerjee as Behan or sister and said Bose would have been proud of India's progress, but not a word on the slogans.
आज अगर नेताजी ये देखते हैं कि उनका भारत इतनी बड़ी महामारी से इतनी ताकत से लड़ा है, जब वो देखते हैं कि भारत वैक्सीन देकर दुनिया के दूसरे देशों की मदद भी कर रहा है।
Throughout the day, the Trinamool and the BJP had held separate events to mark the day, and they sparred over even what to call the day. The Trinamool said it should be known as Desh Nayak Divas, as Rabindranath Tagore, another Bengal icon, bestowed the title of Desh Nayak on Bose.
পরাক্রম দিবস क्या है? পরাক্রম, what is the meaning? সুগত আপনাদের কাছে কিছুটা রাজনৈতিক ইতিহাস বিবরণ দিলেন।
National Planning Commission.
Other flashpoints included the abolition of the Planning Commission, a body envisaged by Bose. Mamata Banerjee said its dissolution has taken away the platform where states could raise their issues. The Trinamool and the BJP competed with each other, with the Prime Minister adding a visit to Netaji's home on his schedule in Kolkata. BJP leaders were not allowed inside and they had to wait outside as it was not a political event. It was Sugato Bose who escorted the Prime Minister into Netaji Bhavan. As the Prime Minister arrived in the city, Mamata Banerjee was already holding a massive rally through the city, walking 6 kilometers to honor Netaji.
কেন্দ্রীয় সরকার কিন্তু আজ পর্যন্ত ছুটির দিন ডিক্লেয়ার করেনি। আমাদের দুঃখ আছে। আপনারা যে কোনো একটা জায়গার নাম শ্যামাপ্রসাদ মুখোপাধ্যায়ের নামে করতেই পারতেন, আমার কোনো আপত্তি নেই। এবার আপনারা বলুন কেন নেতাজি সুভাষচন্দ্র বোসের নামে ডক, তার নামটা উঠিয়ে দেওয়া হবে? কিসের জন্য? নেতাজি সুভাষচন্দ্র বোস ইন্টারন্যাশনাল এয়ারপোর্ট আমি করিয়েছিলাম রাজীব গান্ধীকে দিয়ে যখন উনি প্রধানমন্ত্রী ছিলেন।
All is well, they say. That ends well. By that yardstick, with the Chief Minister's loss of temper and the unwarranted slogans at this venue, certainly a blot on the copybook. With G.D. Shankar and Saurav Gupta, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
And before he arrived in Bengal, Prime Minister Modi was in Assam, where he rolled out the BJP-led government scheme to provide land deeds to over 1 lakh landless indigenous people. Prime Minister Modi claimed this to be an example of how the BJP is committed to protecting the interests of the Bhumiputras of Assam. Though he didn't speak on key issues like the CAA or the Assam NRC, all this while making a pitch for the party's campaign for assembly elections just 3 months away.
The highlight of his visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi handing over land deeds to 1 lakh landless people from indigenous communities of the state, in the presence of a massive gathering at the historic Jaranga Pathar in Sivasagar, the ancient capital of the Ahom kings in Upper Assam. The venue very symbolic. Upper Assam saw major protest against the CAA last year.
बीते सालों में 2.25 लाख से ज्यादा मूल निवासी परिवारों को भूमि के पट्टे सौंपे जा चुके हैं। बीते कुछ सालों से केंद्र और राज्य में एनडीए की सरकार असम की संस्कृति, स्वाभिमान और सुरक्षा हमारी प्राथमिकता रही।
In the rally, the Prime Minister also gave an account of the success of what he claims is the double-engine Sarkar, but he did not speak upon key issues like the Assam NRC, the flood and erosions of Assam, or even the demand of scheduled tribe status for different communities and the contentious CAA. With Assam polls just 3 months away, the main opposition Congress that has formed a grand alliance had this to say.
Since 2014, and every time he would give a plethora of promises to the Assamese people which would inevitably turn out to be a bundle of lies. This time, he was found to be little subdued.
The All Assam Students Union, or the ASU, that spearheaded the anti-CAA agitations, feels BJP is trying to win back favor with the land deeds.
Don't bargain the land patta issue with Ka. Land patta is a right of the indigenous people. The Prime Minister had not uttered a single word regarding the core issues. We would like to hear a positive word from the Honorable Home Minister.
While PM Modi moved on to Bengal, the Home Minister Amit Shah, who is on a 2-day visit to the northeast, will attend 2 party rallies in Lower Assam on Sunday. The question is, will he speak on the contentious issues or skip them as the Prime Minister did? In Guwahati, Ratnadeep Chaudhary, for NDTV.
And Rahul Gandhi launched his party's campaign for the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections by invoking Tamil pride and attacking Prime Minister Modi, who he says has no respect for the culture, language and people of Tamil Nadu.
A show of strength by Rahul Gandhi at the stronghold of ruling AIADMK, Coimbatore and Western Tamil Nadu, as he launched his party's campaign for Tamil Nadu polls due in May. He trained his gun on the ruling party and its ally, the BJP, targeting Prime Minister Modi on language, culture, development and farming.
He does not understand the Tamil language, Tamil history, Tamil culture. And so that is why I have come here to make you realize that your culture, your language, your history is under attack.
With road shows, public meeting and interaction with entrepreneurs, workers, farmers and weavers, Rahul Gandhi attempted to strike an emotional connect with voters. He had tea at a roadside eatery and tacitly evoked memories of his father, who was assassinated in the very same state.
You have a government today in Tamil Nadu that is compromised. I have a family relationship with Tamil Nadu. You had a loving relationship with my grandmother. You had a loving relationship with my father.
In 2016, the Congress contested in 41 seats, but won just 8. Consequently, its ally, the DMK, lost the opportunity to form government. This time, sources say the Congress would settle for lesser number of seats. 10 years out of power, the DMK is trying hard to return to power. In 2019, the DMK Congress alliance swept Lok Sabha polls. The Congress now hopes Rahul Gandhi's early campaign and lessons learned from the Bihar debacle would pay electoral dividends for the alliance. In Chennai with Annette Beryl, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
And after a sluggish start, India's nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive seems to be picking up. Nearly 15 lakh healthcare workers have received the COVID-19 vaccination in India so far, says the government. 3.47 lakh people were vaccinated on the 7th day of the nationwide immunization drive on Friday. That's the highest number of daily vaccinations so far.
India's vaccination numbers gradually picking up as India completed the first week of its vaccination drive. From vaccinating 1.9 lakh healthcare workers on day 1 to vaccinating nearly 3.5 lakh healthcare workers on day 7. The increase in numbers is also because of modifications made in the CoWIN database to allow walk-in vaccinations, meaning those healthcare workers who are not slotted for a certain date can also come and get vaccinated. At hospitals across Delhi today, beneficiaries continued to pour in. 4 hospitals of Delhi government even achieved the 100% beneficiaries target. LNJP, Rajiv Gandhi Super Speciality Hospital, GTB Hospital and Delhi State Cancer Institute.
जैसे मेरे पास भी कोई SMS नहीं आया था, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा था कि ये एक बहुत अच्छा प्रायोरिटी है और हमें जल्दी से जल्दी वैक्सीनेट होना चाहिए, लेकिन इन लोगों ने बोला है कि अभी आपको अकोमोडेट करके हमको भी वैक्सीन दे देंगे. हो सकता है कि लाइन में आने में मुझे 4-5 दिन और लग जाते, तो इट्स बेटर टू गेट इम्यूनाइज्ड एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल.
I just got vaccinated, so I would actually tell every person who has been allotted or who is in the slot, they should actually come here, they should get vaccinated, and being a medical professional, it is their sole responsibility and duty.
Authorities say that a better turnout also helps in reducing wastage of vaccine and manpower.
Once a vial is opened, it has to be consumed to 10 people, 10 beneficiaries in 4 hours. So if suppose 6 or 7 people have come, so 3 or 4 doses, they are going waste.
India has also started commercial export of COVID vaccines. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro today thanked Prime Minister Modi for providing 2 million doses of COVID vaccines and said that his country felt honored to have a great partner to overcome a global obstacle by joining efforts. Prime Minister Modi replied saying that the honor is ours and that India will continue to strengthen the cooperation on healthcare. India has already sent vaccines to 7 neighboring countries as aid under a grant assistance program called Vaccine Maitri. Apart from Brazil, contractual supplies will also go to Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Morocco, Bangladesh and Myanmar. Today, the World Health Organization also thanked India. The WHO Director General tweeted, "Thank you India and Prime Minister Modi for your continued support to the global COVID response. Only if we act together, including sharing of knowledge, can we stop this virus and save lives and livelihoods."
More than 15 lakh people have been vaccinated in India so far, out of which there have been nearly 1200 cases of adverse events. But this is less than 1% of the total vaccinations. In New Delhi with camera person Sanjay Kaushik and Sharad Sharma, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
And ailing RJD leader Lalu Prasad Yadav is being shifted to the All India Institute in Medical Sciences in Delhi as his health has worsened. He was being treated in a hospital in Ranchi, but the medical board had recommended that he be shifted to the capital and is going to be admitted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The RJD chief has been at a hospital in Ranchi where he is serving a sentence after he was convicted in the Bihar border scam. Now, farmers protesting the central government's new agricultural laws will be allowed to hold a tractor parade in the national capital on Republic Day. The Delhi police has now confirmed, setting aside the initial resistance from the authorities to give the go-ahead for this demonstration, and this announcement has come a day after the farmers rejected an offer by the government to defer the 3 reforms for a year and a half, warning that they would step up protests as they seek a repeal of the laws and a guarantee on minimum crop prices.
गणतंत्र दिवस पे किसान गणतंत्र परेड आयोजित करेंगे। घोषणा की थी कि देश भर से किसान अपने ट्रैक्टर लेके दिल्ली आएंगे। हमने घोषणा की थी कि अब हम बैरिकेड पे नहीं रुकेंगे, हम दिल्ली के अंदर आएंगे। आज मैं आपके सामने बताना चाह रहा हूं कि 5 राउंड बात के बाद ये सारी बातें कबूल हो गई हैं। 26 तारीख को गणतंत्र दिवस पे गण की प्रतिष्ठा बनाने के लिए किसान गणतंत्र दिवस परेड करेगा इस देश में पहली बार।
And India and France are carrying out combined air defense exercises in Jodhpur, codenamed Desert Night 21. The exercises are crucial for the Indian Air Force that has recently acquired the Rafale fighter aircraft from France. The combined operations will enhance the capabilities of the Air Force's fighter pilots who've been flying the Rafale fighter planes for just about a year now. Since the first batch of 36 aircraft India wants to acquire arrived in 2019. Harsha Kumari Singh reports.
With me, Sarthak Kumar. He is part of that crack squadron which is now flying the Rafales. Sarthak, so thank you so much for talking to NDTV. You know, you're doing these Indo-French exercises because we've just acquired the Rafales some months back. So do you think it's really helped in terms of technical training, skills, operational readiness, etc.? How would you say these exercises have benefited you?
This exercise is basically carried out for enhancing our interoperability and to understand each other's best practices in terms of air operations, in terms of maintenance practices, and in terms of administration. That is what we are here for, and that is what we are carrying out here.
You know, France has a long experience of flying Rafales. They've used them in actual war also. So have you in that sense really benefited from this experience?
Yes, it has benefited us in this experience because here we are simulating like a war game, and we are doing missions with together, and it is not just Indian Air Force versus French Air Force, it is together. We are doing joint missions, so in each team both the participants are there, so we are learning jointly.
So we're really proud to meet what is part of this crack unit of the Indian Air Force. Now here is the logo of the 17th Squadron. Sarthak, I'm sure you're very proud of that that you're wearing, but just out of curiosity, what were you flying before you came onto the Rafales?
I was flying MiG-27 upgrade aircraft.
Okay. In terms of flying the Rafale, what is your experience, even just a personal experience? I'm not talking about technical things, but how do you feel when you're in that aircraft?
It is very new, very sophisticated, and very technologically advanced aircraft, and it feels really very good to fly a very good machine.
Okay. Now, in the event of a two-front war, which is what the new security environment is, you really will probably be leading from the front. You know, mentally, you sometimes think about it. Are you prepared for it?
As a soldier, as an Indian Air Force pilot, and as a soldier, we are always prepared for any eventuality.
Your chief is reported to have said that when Balakot happened, if we had the Rafales, we would have never needed to cross the line of control. Because of the capability that it has.
Yes, it is because of the omni-role capability which this aircraft possesses, and I think that is the reason we have got it, and we have operationalized Rafale in a record time.